Hello lovelies, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we'll be learning how to make this beautiful neckline. It's a V scrub neckline. It's a DIY actually. And by the end of the video you'll be able to work on projects like this yourself. For this project I didn't use up to 2 yards of fabric. I worked with 1 yard and 30 inches. Yes, 1 yard and 30 inches. But the highlight for this video is the neckline. It's a 3/4 kaftan with pockets, you know, and I'm sure that by the end of the project you'll be able to replicate it. Please remember to subscribe, like, and share this video. Ask me questions in the comment section and I'll be glad and willing to reply you. Okay, so let's get started. I'm trying to show you the highlight. That's the v-neck, the crossed v-neck. It's a scrub v-neck. Yes, that's the word, scrub v-neck. And I added plain fabric as well to the sleeve. The sleeve and the shoulder is a cut together sleeve. I didn't cut the sleeve separately. I cut it together with the shoulder. So I'll be starting out by marking 4 inches. Yes, if you're on the slimmer side, I'm sorry, if you're on the slimmer side, you could use 3 inches or 3.5 inches. And I went down by 8.5 inches. So you could go down by 6, by 7, yes, by 8 inches. But I went down by 8.5 inches. And I'll be connecting the two lines together. After which I'll come in by 1/2 inch. I'm going in by 1/2 inch. If you look at the style, you see that it wasn't totally VV. It's a scrub. That's why I called it a scrub line. So I'll connect that 1/2 inch I came in by. I'll be connecting it to the 4 inches at the top that is at the neckline as well. Yes, I came down all the way. Yep. And then I'll be marking my sleeve opening. I did 11 inches actually. Yes, I'm marking 11 inches because it's a kaftan. It's supposed to be free. It's not supposed to be fitted or tied. And this is also going to serve as my chest line. So from that chest line, I'll be marking out my bust measurements. That's your bust divided by 4, and I'm adding 2.5 inches allowance to it. 1/2 inch will be going for the stitching, the sewing allowance, while the 2 inches will be for the ease. Like we said, it's a free to wear kaftan boo gown. So from there, for my shoulder, I'll be taking my underbust, my waistline, and my hip line. Yes, it's a kaftan, it's free to wear, but it doesn't mean it should be shapeless. So I wanted to have a little bit of, shape. Should not just be there. Yeah, so I went into my underbust, and from the underbust, I took my underbust measurements divided by 4, and I'm adding 2.5 inches allowance to it. Excuse me. And then to my waistline, I took my waistline measurements and I added my 2.5 inches allowance to it. And then to my hip line measurement, and I'll be adding 2.5 inches allowance to it as well. And from the hip, I'll go to the edge of the fabric all the way down. It's going to be free at the lower side. Yes, so I'll be connecting all my lines together as you see me do. Connecting all the lines together. I'll take it from the hip to the waist, from the waist to the underbust, from the underbust to the bust, and from the bust I'll connect it back to that sleeve opening that is on our chest line. Yes, but you see that side is sharp, so I'm just going to curve it in a little bit, maybe when I'm cutting. So then I'll be doing my shoulder slant. I came in by 1 inch. I'll then take it from the neckline all the way down to the shoulder slants. I came down by 1 inch, and I'm marking that straight line. I'm cutting both the front and the back together, so I will take the back measurement. I went down by 1.5 inches. It's not going to be having zipper, so we have to do something that our neck can enter. Yeah, I came down by 1.5 inches, so I'll be cutting it. I'll cut out the back neckline first. Please bear in mind I'm not going to touch that front neckline at the moment. I went ahead to cut the back neckline, and then I'm cutting the shoulder slants, and I will cut all of my other markings. Yes, I've gone ahead to do that. Can you see that sleeve side that is not as sharp as it was initially? Wasn't It's not as sharp as it was initially. So I'll go ahead now and I'll remove the back fabric, the back pattern that we already cut out. I'll remove it from this, and then I'll go ahead to work on the front line. I'll go in by 1/2 inch. Remember that 1/2 inch we measured? Yes, I'll cut it out 1/2 inch, and then I'll cut out the V neckline as well. So now I'm trying to mark my pocket opening. So I came down from my shoulder, I measured 18 inches. My waistline is 17 inches, so I came down by 1 inch, making 18 inches, and my pocket opening is 7 inches. I'll go ahead to notch it. I'm notching both the front and the back together, and I'm marking the back side so that I don't go and take the front as the back and the back as the front. You get it? Yeah. So yes, this is my plain fabric that I'll be using for the V neckline and the sleeves. On fold, you would have 2 inches, but if you open it up, it's going to be 4 inches. So on fold, I added my stays to it, and I placed it on the neckline, and I'm chalking it out. Now I'm going to cut out that fabric. That place you see me highlight, yes, I'm cutting it out, and I will replace it with this black fabric. So I went ahead to pin it down. After pinning, I'll be sewing it. We'll be going to the machine. I've done that. I've sewn it. I'm notching it now, and I'm flipping the rest of that black fabric to the wrong side, as you see me do in the video. At the wrong side, I will cross it on top of each other. Yes, so when you cross it on top of each other, it will give you that V scrub that you want. So now we'll now sew both the black fabric and the Ankara fabric. We'll sew it together, and after which we'll trim it off, and I will weave that side that I'm using my finger to touch. Yes, so for this now, I want to cut out the back facing. So I took a little fabric and I placed my back fabric on the pieces fabric, and I'm trimming it out. So you could make yours to be 3 inches, you could make yours to be 2 inches, and you could do a freehand actually, but I like mine being even. So in this case, I'm going to be cutting it out all the way using 2 inches, after which I'll put my hemming gum on it. I'll sew it to the fabric, put my hemming gum, sew it, top stitch it, put my hemming gum, and all of that. So yes, right side facing right side, I went ahead to sew it together, and then I place both the front and the back, right side facing right side. I'll be joining the shoulders as well, so that I'll be able to get the length for my sleeve. Yes, I went ahead to top stitch, sorry, and to give it a good press. So can you see the back? It's already giving us what we want it to give us. So I went ahead to measure the length of the sleeve that I'll be working with. So I cut out the fabric. On fold, it will be 2 inches as well, and I went ahead to sew it on the sleeve side. So yeah, I want to cut out my pocket, but because my fabric is not enough, I'm using this plain fabric. I just place my fingers on it, my hand on that fabric, and I'm tracing it out. But in tracing it out, I'm making sure that it is 7 inches at the lower part, so that it can fit to my pocket opening on my fabric. So if you measure it, it's going to be 7 inches, I mean at the lower part. So yes, I'll go ahead and I'll cut it out, and I'll place the right side of that pocket that I cut out. I'll place it on the right side of my fabric as well. So right side facing right side, and I'll go ahead to pin it down, I'll sew it, I'll top stitch it, after which I'll join all of it together and I'll fold the lower part. I'll give it a good press. I will iron it out properly, which I have done. Can you see it? Yes.